The Art of Explaining Things Clearly. In 2005, my parents installed a satellite at our house. The satellite allowed us to have way more channels. Who needs cable anyways? For the first couple of days, I loved the satellite. Couldn't see anything going wrong with it. Until it started to rain. Since the satellite was placed outside, when it would rain, the TV signal would get distorted. Eventually, I'd get an error message on the TV that said to try again later. How the hell am I going to watch Everybody Loves Raymond now? Satellite without rain equals crystal clear TV programs. Satellite with rain equals distorted TV programs. It's the same with explaining things. When explaining something, imagine that there's a satellite on the other person's head. Simple speaking equals no rain. Complex speaking equals rain. Now imagine their mind as the TV. If you're explaining with the utmost simplicity, then there'll be a crystal clear sitcom playing in their mind. If you use a bunch of big words, complex jargon, and lifeless formulas, then congrats. You've created an error message in their mind. Explaining things clearly is an art and science. To explain things clearly, there are 3 steps needed. 1. Know what you're talking about. 2. Meet people where they are. And 3. Strategic engagement. Step 1 is the most important. You can't explain a topic well if you don't know about it. How will I know when I know it well enough? You don't fully know until you begin explaining it. When you've been studying the topic, applying it, and practicing, then you should have a solid foundation to begin explaining the topic. Step 2 is to meet people where they are. This is one of the easiest steps to get wrong, especially when you know the topic in depth. Dumbing yourself down initially hurts the ego. Dumbing yourself down means to keep the same content and alter the delivery. Simple language allows for more use of analogies, examples, and relevant formulas. If you aren't teaching a student, but trying to create content which teaches, then give advice to your younger self. This makes it easier to remember where you once were and the difficulties of being a beginner in that field. Step 3 is strategic engagement. Reality check. Lectures don't work in the real world. Why do you think that is? Because lectures only engage someone's intellectual mind. To teach someone, you need to engage all parts of them. Keep them engaged with, any questions? Am I making sense? Still with me so far? The more you practice explaining things, the better you get in the habit of turning complexity into simplicity. The more you learn how to explain things clearly, the easier it will be to study. What does explaining things have to do with studying? When you view explaining as a craft, you'll be able to spot quality content from junk. It'll be easier to scope through fluff when you have experience creating content. Call that killing 2 birds with 1 stone.